like to call to order the town board. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee Deteen? Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee McKinney?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. Moving on to item 3, are there any agenda changes? Hearing none, we move on to approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on February 20th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. Is there a motion? Second?
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Are there any citizens' comments tonight? There is.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
today I had called town clerk and city clerk Spooner regarding whether or not there would be a meeting or what time. I respectfully request that in those machines that you're talking about, a note be made to inform people such as me that on a voting night, when the early voting is moved out here, that things will be held at the regular hour, and all the stuff for early voting will not interrupt it.
Gotcha. Okay. Got that, Cheryl? Okay. Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Where did they put everything?
Well, they had all that equipment out of here about early.
Oh, is there,
Saturday.
oh, that's right, because the election was today. Okay, I
Only
knew that.
early voting is at City Hall.
Right, gotcha. Okay, thank you. Any other citizens' comments? All right. Moving on to item 6, authorized bills for payment. Trustee Fisher?
I reviewed the bills for payment, a total of $64,415.14. I found everything to be in order, and I move to approve payments. Second.
What was the amount? What did you say the amount was?
64,415.14. That's what's on the sheet. Is that correct? I hope so.
Let me see that one.
$64,415.14.
Check that.
Okay. Motion and second. Any discussion? Just making sure we're all on the same page. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 7 is to receive and place on file. This is a draft. We started 2 years ago for the annual town meeting to have an annual report for the year before. So this is actually for all of 2017. Okay, so we went from January 1 to December 31 of 2017. And this is a draft that I would appreciate, and Chris, I already gave you one, so the addition is the pictures, we changed those up. Chris made one suggestion for us to look at as well, so if you get a chance to look through it and you have any suggestions, anything that you think that we should be including, adjusting, making a mention of, and then I would like to have it to give out at the annual township meeting, and then I'll have them on file after that. So if you get a chance to look it through, we're really proud of the work that we've accomplished in 2017, and I'm fairly positive it's going to be blown out of the water with 2018, so it's good. So, okay. It doesn't need to be a vote, right? Does it?
No, it's just a...
Okay. Okay. Item 8, consider approval of the 2018 annual township meeting agenda per Chairman Neal. And if you look at the agenda, we have a few things. So normally, as Mr. Bremner can attest to, at our annual town meeting, there's usually almost nothing on the agenda because it takes individuals putting something on the agenda to be able to have a discussion. So this year, some of the things that I would like to include is one, to consider providing space to agencies to fill a need in Zion Township, and those would be taken into considered individually, but that gives us the approval from the residents of the community to be able to do that, like we did with Nicasa. We had to have a special township meeting in order to get that approval, and I would just like to widen that up for other agencies that we see fit to move in. That's one of the items for the agenda. And then also consider disposal of surplus property. We have a van that has been dubbed as not to be put on the road, so it absolutely won't work for our summer work program, so we need to get rid of that. We've got some old computers and just some stuff at the township that we would like to dispose of, so at the annual town meeting, we would like to get the approval to dispose of those items. And then as well, one of the items in the annual town meeting that the representatives can do is to request that there be funds that assist with substance abuse treatment in the community. So that's one of the key things that you can ask for at the annual town meeting. And we've always done it, right? And we've always supported NACASA. We had crew and then NACASA, but just to have that on the agenda as well, like we've requested each year. So those are the 3 items. If there's anything else that you would like to have placed on the agenda, or if you have a question about any of those.
How far in advance do we or the residents of Zion need to put something on the agenda?
It needed to be by March 1st, actually.
Okay. All right, so this is the agenda.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you, Clark. So is there a motion to approve? Wait, do we need to approve it? Or
Yep,
is it-
we do.
Okay, good.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 9 is consider approval of Zion Township as a passport processing agency per Chairman Neal. A few years ago, when we had a staff of 8, we were a passport agency, and when one of the employees, it was 9 years ago, one of the employees that we needed to let go because our funds got cut in half, she was the representative, and so we never pursued trying to keep it or what we would have to do because we were so unsure with the budget and staffing and those things. Talk to my staff. We get so many calls from people that are looking for a passport agency that they really felt strongly about looking into, seeing if we could be a passport agency again, and promised that they would cover each other and help to make sure that it happens. So we checked into it, and we actually can be one, and they're willing to let us be one. I wanted to bring it before you guys and see what your thoughts are and get the official approval to move forward with doing that.
Does it cost us anything to do that?
It actually doesn't cost us anything. We actually make a little bit. So, not a lot, but a little bit. So.
Yeah, usually there's a processing fee for, if somebody wants to come in and get a passport, so.
Right. Yes, and
Yeah.
so we,
I think it would be a great service for the community, so.
Do any other communities in this area have that?
yes,
Do you
there's a
know?
number of townships that actually do that. The only one in Zion that, so Walgreens does the pictures, and the post office does the passports, but they don't have, they take appointments and they don't have a lot of, space, so a lot of times people end up having to go to Chicago or different
Milwaukee.
places to get that, or,
Yeah,
Right.
well, if we do this, will we be able to expedite passports? Expedite passports
The expediting takes place in the.
in the bigger
office in
cities?
Only in Chicago,
Okay.
right, that's the only place you can do that. But it's definitely a lot easier to get to the township than it is to Chicago when you need to actually do a passport, so.
Yeah.
And with all the different rulings that they're gonna be having, I was flying out the other day and somebody said that they're looking at needing a passport to even get on an airplane, eventually, so. Residents will be needing to access passports a little bit easier, so. Yeah, so is there somebody that would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Zion Township as a passport processing agency.
Excellent, second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. The next item I wanted to bring up to you guys, I'm a part of, there's a county organization called the Lake County Alliance for Human Services, and it's made up of all of the executive directors of the social service agencies. Being in those, we have a quarterly meeting, and in each meeting, it's crazy the information that I bring back to be able to help our residents and the collaborations that we find. I think the last meeting I came up with 9 takeaways of things that I wanted to like make sure that we tapped into after that meeting. One of those 9 things was that between Gorton Community Center, the Gorton Family Foundation, and Kellogg, they are offering the Alliance for Human Services group specific to do this, and I've got it in your packet. It's the certificate workshop series, and the focus is on branding your organization, whole brain communication, stakeholder mapping and messaging. And it really is, to me, the missing link with what we do at the township is finding a way to be able to like create a message so that residents know who we are and how we can help. And I've always struggled with it, and I continue to struggle with it. And so this program, normally for one of Kellogg's programs, it's $1,000 per program. And this entire series, it's a 5-session series that's 5 full days. And we've got the money in the budget, so I'm not asking for anything out of the ordinary. I just would really like your support in moving forward and taking this program to really focus on how to better market Zion Township. So is there a motion? Right, we do a motion, then discussion, or discussion, then motion, then discussion.
Well, it's just discussion, so you're not really.
Oh,
You want to accept the program?
Oh.
What is it that you?
right. Well, and we've got it in the budget, so it's not like
Yeah,
it needs an
just-
approval. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys.
So it would be part of the training budget that you would like to spend for
Correct.
training? And
I
this
think-
is how you like to spend it?
Yes. Yes, it is a portion of it.
It sounds like a very positive program. I think it would be a good idea.
I agree. I think it's even something that, even with the city, I've talked to Mayor Hill about this in the past, of being able to, for us to come up with a message for our city too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think it's a good program.
Excellent. Well, and what I'll do is, at each of the township board meetings, I'll bring back, this is what I got from it, and this is, so that you guys can see the value of what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Okay, sure. All right, so that was 10. 11, discussion regarding budget for fiscal year 2018-19. So I gave you an updated budget based on the different conversations that we've had. Clerk Spooner. So once we agree with the budget, then it goes for public, right?
Yep.
And then at the next meeting, we have the public hearing, and then we approve it at the next board
Correct.
meeting, correct? So, and I want to thank everybody for like being willing to like go through the budget and give me some great feedback. And so tonight, I would just like to, there's a couple of things that I want specific information on, and then anything else that you have feedback on. The first thing, my first question actually, is that since I've been township supervisor, we've never had a conversation about a township attorney. We've always just utilized Ansel Link because it's the city attorney. I have been obviously leaning more on an attorney since I realized that common sense doesn't work in government, that you have to have a legal follow-up to make sure that, because sometimes common sense doesn't work. And so just wanted to bring it up for discussion. If it's, what your thoughts are, if you would prefer that we just 100% stick with Ansel Link, if you want me to meet with a couple other attorneys and get some different perspectives, what your thoughts are on that piece.
Well, I think you're right, that we do need to have legal advice available to us. I think that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is,
Right.
so.
So curious what your thoughts are with, because I know the city attorney is Ansel Blank, right? Do you just want us, I would like to make a decision, do we just want to stick with Ansel Blank because the city uses them and it makes it easier? Or would you like me to ask around and have us interview a couple of attorneys to make a conscious decision about who we work with in the next fiscal year?
Well, there's going to be I would assume there's going to be a cost associated with bringing an attorney on board.
So we would continue to use them the way that we do now, is that so when I first got elected, the attorney was always at the meetings. And I thought that was because there's not really a lot that goes on at a meeting that you really need an attorney for at the township level, unless there was something that we needed them for and we could call. So currently it's just an on-call basis, right? And so we pay an hourly rate for on-call basis to be able to do that service. We have never checked into anybody else or doing anything else, and so I just want to make sure that,
And that's been with Ansel Link?
correct.
So it doesn't look like you're asking for any more in the budget.
Great. So I actually did up it, because we're over in the budget this year.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
asking,
okay, so
see
we're
that?
budgeting 4,000.
Right, instead of.
Last year was 3.
Right. So that's a piece to it, but then the other piece to it is, do you want me to continue using Carrie Lynn from Ansel Link, or do you want me to research other township attorneys and see if I can save money getting somebody that is reputable? Yeah, I just want to make conscious decisions with everything that we do.
I guess consideration would be Ansel Link is very knowledgeable, and that they have it's a whole team of lawyers that would be working for us, depending on what the need is. And so they have a whole lineup of options for us. And there's a cost involved in that. So if you could, help us weigh out what would our needs actually be if we just need legal advice from time to time. If we get sued in federal court and we need attorneys at that level, Ansel Link could provide attorneys at that level,
Yeah.
whereas maybe somebody in a private practice might not be able to.
That's very true.
Plus, if I hire an attorney, I need somebody that knows something about taxes too, assessments.
Well,
That's
who do
why
you use? You use
we
Ansel
use
Link?
Ansel Link
Okay,
too.
all right.
Also, I use Scott.
Okay,
So-
right. And we've had different situations, like 4 years back, I needed to hire a specific HR attorney, so we went with Barbara Weiner for those specifics. But then with our most recent situation, we just went with Ansel Link
Right.
with that situation, so, yeah.
I think if you continue with the as needed, I think that's a prudent move. And since we do have an association with Ansel Link from the city side, I think that's probably a good idea. Probably continue at least for, this next year and see how it works.
Cool. Okay, excellent.
And then if you feel that, maybe you don't need all of that, and you might want to look at, maybe somebody who specializes in municipal law,
Township law.
on a local, more independent basis that, if it's just a case-by-case situation, and, maybe we'll take a look at it. But I think probably since we're easing back into this, it'd probably be better to stay with a larger organization for right now.
So do we already have Ansel Link on retainer? Or
Not a retainer, we pay an hourly fee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
On call, not.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, just when I need them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good.
So it may
I
actually
appreciate
turn out that you don't need them as much this year as you
It
think.
may, yeah,
Right.
it absolutely may.
So,
So it's amazing, the crazy things that I turn over that's like, ooh, I should probably check to make sure that we're doing that correctly, though, so, just to make sure. Billy, do you have any other input, or?
No, I think it's all been said.
Okay, excellent. All right, thank you for that. So then the next two is, well, it's actually the next three. So a few of the things that I wanted to bring up for the 2018-19 budget is, one is, so there's two projects that we have been working diligently on, and I cannot wait for the city council meeting, because these kids that are working on the community contest are going to wow you. They are over at the township right now working on their presentation, and
Can you explain that a little bit more, please?
the community contest?
Yeah.
Sure. They will explain it in full at the city council meeting, but just so that you guys are aware, I've been talking about it for, well, Billy, I think I met with you 3.5 years ago on it. It's the idea of having a community contest where you get 6 households in your neighborhood as a team, and then that team goes out and they do different things that build community. So like one of the examples is, as a team, you go to the concert in the park and take pictures. So you take pictures to prove that the team went to the concert in the park. If you bring food and have a picnic, you get more points. If you dance, you get more points, and you take the pictures. Another project is going to the library as a group, getting your library card, going to a class, you take pictures, you score points. Another one is doing a neighborhood cleanup, which is something that we're working on a strategy for. High level, how do we do a community-wide full cleanup? So they do these different projects, and what the kids want to do is they want to have there will be 3 rounds of competition, 1 in June, 1 in July, and 1 in August. So we can have like 10 teams in June, and then people catch wind, and they can start for the July, and then another group start for the August. And so then you compete each of those months, and then so there's a winner for each of the rounds. And then at the community character walk, those 3 rounds will compete for the top prize, and we're working on putting together a top prize package.
So would this be something that the Coalition for Healthy Communities would sponsor, or?
So what
You've
we're
been
working
talking
on with the
about it
kids.
at that venue?
Yep, so I've met with Marilyn Krieger, who's the president of the Coalition for Healthy Communities. I've met with Safer Lake County. They're both endorsing the project. The kids they met with the Park District Board last week. They're meeting tonight, City Council / Township. And Thursday night, they're meeting at they're presenting at Zion Township High School. So how all that took place was I was offered an internship student from New Tech. And so I went over and I met him, and I shared with him this concept. And this kid, Ronell Pipes, right? He's sitting there, and he literally leans back in his seat and crosses his arm and gets this big grin on his face. I was like, so what are you smiling about? And he was like, I just had this picture of me being like grown up in someplace someday, thinking back about the impact I made on Zion because I got to be a part of this. And so I crossed my arms and I put a big grin on my face and I sat back, and he was like, what are you grinning about? I was like, because I pictured me sitting in a nursing home rocking in my chair, just being so proud of you for running this project. He's like, what do you mean running it? I'm like, I'm thinking you should take the lead and I'll be your secretary. He's like, you serious? Like, yeah. And Chris, he lives in 411, and he's willing to be a captain.
Okay.
Crazy. So you guys will meet him tonight when he presents. But and so he got 2 other guys from New Tech High School, and they are running with this, and they'll share with you tonight the rest of the stuff that they're doing. But I had met on this project with Billy and Mayor Hill 4 years ago, and they were like, it's just too soon. We needed to organize Cubs. We needed to get next door. We needed to get a communication strategy. And then I had met with Deputy Chief Kirk Henderson 3 years ago, and he begged me not to do it that summer because it was the volatile summer where they were afraid with the guns, and that if there was a group together, that if something happened, and so I met with Billy, I met with the mayor, I met with Kirk Henderson, and all of them have said thumbs up, go for it. This is the right time to do that. So then I met with these kids, and they are running with it. We have a committee with. Just all kinds of hodgepodge people that are involved in the committee of making it happen. And
Is this a Coalition for Healthy Communities event?
it's not, because it's just Zion. Okay, so it's really it's an attempt through Zion Township. Residents are constantly calling me specifically and saying that you have to do something to make the community better. And I can only do so much as one elected official, but I know that if every resident owns their neighborhood, right, and knows their neighbors, that it will change the community. And so it's really an attempt from the township level to re-empower the residents of the community to be able to turn our community around. So I would like it to be sponsored by the township, endorsed by and supported by all the other taxing bodies, to the point where we have all of the logos on the flyer for everybody, and get everybody involved in something. Like we're talking to the Park District about helping with the prize package, and the high school and the grade school about doing things to help with the prize packages. There's some things that the kids will be asking for the city council tonight in regards to that.
Is there like a registration fee to participate in it?
No fee to get a team to be a part of it, because we were really concerned that if it would turn anybody away for the first year to ignite it, that it might deter people from wanting to do it. So my thought was, with the budget, was just to have a little bit of money to be able to market, to make posters, to get the URL for the website, to be able to do those little things. Not a lot, but just enough to be able to let the kids that we're working with know, in the community, that we back it and it matters. And I believe that this is the stuff that will make the biggest impact on our community.
Will the other taxing bodies contribute to any of the marketing efforts, other than providing a logo?
So definitely helping with the marketing efforts. The high school kids are planning on marketing to all of the high school students, to get them to get teams. The Design Central Middle School, I met with the principal. She's going to have those kids, as part of their project, help to form teams. They're willing to add things to the prize package. It's just to try and do funds, right? Just to have a little bit of money if we do like an ad in the newspapers or the flyers or those types of things, is what I would hope that we can provide at the township level for this event.
When you say that we have talked and we have planned, who is the we?
It depends on which,
I mean, is the
Part.
coalition, is that the venue you've been talking about this with, or is it?
no, the kids, the committee that we put together. So yeah, because the coalition is Zion with the Program Beach Park.
Okay.
Right? So this is really an effort to take care of our community, right? And so it really is more of the people on the committee is who I've been talking to. It's just to try and like get the momentum going to make this happen, so. And I met with you, I've talked to you twice.
Talked to me on the
but
phone,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess my thought would be, in terms of funding for the flyers and things like that, we ought to consider a registration fee. And not a lot, but I found when you put a little monetary value to something, as opposed to being just free, people are more likely to follow through with it and commit to it because they put some cash down on the table. So not an amount that would prevent people from being a part of it.
Like how much?
I don't know, maybe your committee could come up with an amount.
Oh, sure. Or you could like tell me what you've been thinking about, and then I could propose it to them as an idea.
Yeah, so if you're talking about 6 groups.
Six households.
Yeah,
Six
6
households
households,
per-
$10 each for a household.
I'll bring that up to them. So we're running way short on time. The other things that I wanted to propose was for Zinnias for Zion, the same thing, to have a little bit of money to market that, as well as having an appreciation breakfast for the church secretaries, inviting the pastors and the church secretaries to, one, be able to collaborate better between the township and the churches to let them know what services we provide and help them with that, as well as build a relationship to be able to market the different events and programs that are going on in the community, specifically these two and others. And then the third thing is to just create a bigger support network moving forward with the different things that we're trying to do in the community to move things forward. So those are the 3 things. You guys can give me feedback offline, and then I can take it from there, or it's up to you guys.
Well, I already gave you my feedback.
Right.
That although I support those projects, I don't think we should use taxpayer dollars to
Build relationships?
fund them.
Okay.
Building relationships is a good thing.
Right.
But, in terms of Zinnias, it's something that people will benefit from and they can put their money into, and they already, and the
Yeah.
community already is. I did just poll a few church secretaries, which I thought was interesting, because first they said, "Do you want us to plan it?" That was their response.
Right.
Because that's typically
That's
when
what they're
it
expected to
comes
do.
with an idea,
Right.
they usually have to be heavily involved with it. I said, "No, this is for you." I said, "Oh, okay. We don't necessarily need to be appreciated."
Right, that's what they always say.
I said,
Makes
"We're-
them uncomfortable
So we're going
to
to
be
use taxpayer money to do it." They said, "No way."
Right.
And I guess that would be my take on it as well.
Well, Chris, your feedback?
No,
On
we've
all
had
3.
we've had this discussion. I think it's a great idea, and like I said, I think we should expand it to, get the Amadia community involved. I think that would be a very good thing. And it's building a network of the people who are on the front lines. And I think an appreciation luncheon, it's an investment in the community. So I see it from that perspective.
I think it's a good idea as well.
Okay. Well, okay, all right, so I will work on that for the final budget, and then, so those were the only items that I had for the budget. We made the tweaks that each of you brought up in the other areas, and if you want to, in the next couple of weeks, give me your final thumbs up with your input, with what you would like, and then I will pass that on to Cheryl to be able to publish that. So Larry, you got 10 seconds. No, assessor
I got 3
report.
quick things. The senior freeze notices have been out. We've had a steady stream of people for the last week. I think it's made a huge difference that the income has gone from $55,000 to $65,000. It seems like it's opened the door for a lot more seniors to come in to get the senior freeze. Right now, we are working on the east side of Sheridan, taking pictures walking house to house, looking at the houses for the reassessment year. So if you see some people on Saturday and Sundays walking through your neighborhood, you'll know it's the assessor's office. Last but not least, tax bills should be mailed out at the beginning of May. And my prediction is probably most tax bills are going to go down just a little bit. Our values went up 10%, so I don't think that the tax rate's going to go up that high. So I think most normal houses should see a small reduction in their taxes, very small. That's it.
Thank you, Assessor.
Get to drive to normal now.
Okay. And last item on the agenda is Supervisor's Report. You have it before you. It's also available on the Township website. But just the thing that I want to brag the most about is my staff every Tuesday from 1 until 3 o'clock. We do LAHEAP applications, Low Income Energy Assistance Program. Low-income homeowners energy assistance program, and we block it off and we see up to 22 residents. And this last year we were able to service 380 residents to the tune of $125,343 that we brought in doing that work. That's up from last year where we saw 322 residents and $118,261. So that's with the four of us, and then we have one incredible volunteer, Nancy Payan, that comes in every Tuesday and works the front desk for us. To be able to make that happen. So really proud of my team and the hard work they're doing. There's a calendar for each of you. Sandra Usher put that together for our general assistance clients so that they have it to put their information on, and she just included different information for everybody each month. That's all I got.
Thanks.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher.
Aye.
Trustee McDowell.
Aye.
Trustee McKinney.
Aye.
Chairman Neal.
Aye. We adjourn.
And that's good.
Yes.